Hello and welcome to the Elevate Talks, where we talk about how AI is impacting enterprise solutions and how can we do it sustainably. To talk us through this, we have Sukumar, who is a veteran from the learning industry. Sukumar, so AI, the talk of the town.
Yeah,
Pretty much everywhere
absolutely.
talking about disruption. But you have been providing learning to enterprises for more than 20 years now. How do you see this playing out, especially from a people standpoint?
No, I think that's most critical, right? Because I have lived through the previous such technology revolution, which was the internet. And the excitement perhaps was similar, although I should say everything seems to have been compressed nowadays. It's tremendously exciting, the whole AI adoption. I mean, I go to events and stuff like that, and I see people across. I'm not talking about IT industries, right? Because IT is at the forefront. But whether you look at manufacturing, banking, financial services, yes, there are some concerns. Insurance, for instance, is one of the areas where there's a lot of adoption of AI. So it's very, very exciting. But I feel it's important to look at change from a sustainable point of view, beyond the excitement, beyond once we cross that hype phase of the cycle. How is it that organizations can get real value, productivity benefits from this? And that is where the focus of Elevate has been. And that's what we are seeking to do.
I think it's a very important point that you brought about how beyond excitement. I think also it qualifies to the hype cycle around AI. You have instances where AI reports come out saying jobs are going to be displaced. But you also talked about an important point, which is productivity in organizations.
Yeah.
So how do you think organizations should look at training their employees in AI? Because AI is a reality, whether companies like it or not.
Right.
How do you view this aspect of training employees in AI to improve productivity?
I think it's a very, very good question, because there are many strands to this aspect. Right? One is the fact that everybody is exposed to AI. So your employees are exposed to AI 24/7 because of social media and all of that stuff. And they are using AI left, right, and center, some in a good way, some in a wrong way. You don't know what's happening to intellectual property.
Yeah.
You have to have restrictions which are questionable in terms of its efficacy, right? So organizations need to view this in a very, very nuanced manner in terms of how A, they are enabling people adopt it, but B, making sure that they are introducing the right practices from the day one, right? Now, if you wait for too long, where people have learned already some things and they are playing with, they have already chosen their pet tool. There's this trend called bring your own AI. You will then find that it's very difficult for them to adapt to change and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it is very important to make sure they are given structured inputs and they are handheld through this process. This is the time to do it. And if you do it in a sustainable manner, not through just a single learning intervention, like I organized a workshop or whatever, but through sustained inputs, hand-holding to make sure they are adopting it in the right way. I think if you do this, it is just amazing in terms of the productivity benefits that organizations can get. Already I can see almost everything is happening a lot faster than what it used to be. I think that can be institutionalized. And that's where organizations need to focus on.
I think two great points that I will take away is one is the safety aspect of using AI. I think in your work area also, you would have seen some of the organizations which you work with probably banning some AI tools in their internal organization, internally, because especially with the core engineering, there is always a threat of IP laws. Right. There are certain trade secrets that people would not want to reveal to AI tools. It might not be so much in IT sectors, but in non-IT, definitely. Say a car part, for example. Right. A part of a car is an important IP that can make or break sales for the car. So, how do you recommend organizations to take it? Because AI, whether, as you said, although the banning is in place, but still the companies, it is an important tool for productivity enhancement. Right. So how do you see marrying both these objectives?
Right. So one is that organizations are already dealing with this problem, right? And many organizations are choosing their own methods. Some have internal deployments of some of these tools and they have made it available to people. Some of them have bans in place and stuff like that. So rather than getting too much into exactly how they should be doing, what we do here at Elevate is to take that as a given and say, how do we enable people to use compliance restricted prompting, for instance? Or how do you follow what your organization is recommending for you? And that's where I think IT organizations are already seeing, and we've heard stories about how on the first day of somebody was just uploaded a CAD design and then to explain the design and stuff like that, and then that became a big problem and stuff like that. So such things will happen, right? And organizations are already taking steps towards it. What we do is to say, how can we take that? And one of the things about Elevate is we work very closely with the IT departments. Right. It's not just about learning and development, trying to take their own decisions. It's about aligning very well with what the IT departments indicate and say, take that and make sure sustainably it's implemented. Given the framework of organizational restrictions, how is it that employees can be enabled? And there is a ton, believe me, there's a ton that is possible. If we handhold them, if we make that, and once it becomes practice for them, practice is the key. Yeah. Once it becomes sustainable, that is when the benefits will start showing up.
Yeah. So I think very pertinent points on using risk mitigation to use AI. But I would want to draw in a focus on the sustainable part, because this is not going to be a training probably like in the past where there is a fixed set of things that are happening. The technological change that is happening is slow, but AI is a force that is evolving every single day. What we talk today is probably not relevant tomorrow. We have seen this evolution in the past 2 years. Right. So can you talk us through on the sustainability of training, sustainability of engagement, and how do you see this sort of a learning engagement different from your traditional learning?
Excellent question. So the thing is that there are a ton of inputs available today. I mean, just go on YouTube, there are a ton of courses available. And since there is a scare among people that if they don't adopt AI, they are going to lose their jobs, everybody is learning on their own way, right? And that is definitely not sustainable. So what we believe is that it is not about a single workshop. And we have seen this in our experience, even not just in AI, but in other fields that we used to call this as our Saturday trainings, right? On Saturday, you go for a training, and Monday morning is very different. Right. So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So what we do is that we give somewhat like drip irrigation. Just the right amount of inputs. A newsletter here, an event there, a workshop somewhere, mentoring sessions, So all of these are going to be done in such a way that they get consistent inputs over a period of time. Right now, we have a 3-month program that we are working with companies on, but that's something that we will look to improve on based on the feedback we are getting. But basically, through a series of inputs, we will make sure we handhold. Like for instance, when we do the demo day kind of event, we have seen people come up and share a lot of stuff that they do, which is amazing from an implementation point of view, but also from how it sort of inspires other people to adopt those things.
Yeah.
Right? So we enable a lot of these things, and we keep learning and we keep improving this program. I think it's going to be amazing in terms of the value that the organizations will get. Safe practices,
Yeah.
handheld adoption of AI,
Yeah.
and productivity benefits.
Yeah.
These are some of the key focus that we have on Elevate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to summarize, safe practices, hand-holding of employees, and therefore productivity gains. So all these are going to have a big impact for organizations. AI is not something to be scared of, but it's something to be embraced, adopted. I think he rightly pointed out about internet. It can be about computers, it can be about Excel, it can be any of these tools that we are using currently today. AI is also a similar tool, and how we adopt and enhance productivity is the key question. So thank you very much, Kumar.
Thank you.
This talks.